First contact gone wrong. The mining platform Europa 7 hung like a metallic spider over the icy surface of Jupiter's moon. Its drilling arms extended deep into Europa's crust, harvesting the rare minerals that had become essential to Earth's quantum computing industry. Chief Engineer Maya Rodriguez stood in the observation dome, watching the distant sun cast weak light across the frozen landscape. After 3 years stationed on this remote outpost, she still found the view breathtaking. Dr. Rodriguez, the Station A's voice interrupted her thoughts. We've detected an anomaly approximately 17 kilometers from the platform. Maya's attention snapped back to reality. What kind of anomaly? ARIA. Unknown object, approximately 30 meters in length. It wasn't there during yesterday's scan. Maya felt her heart rate quicken. In space, unexpected things were rarely good. Alert Director Chen and prepare a scouting team. I'll lead it myself. Within an hour, Maya and 3 security officers were suited up in their EVA gear, riding the surface crawler across Europa's icy terrain. The object grew larger on their scanners with each passing minute. Whatever it is, it's not human design, said Officer Jenkins, studying the readings. The composition contains elements not on our periodic table. Maya swallowed hard. Humanity had been exploring the solar system for decades, but had never encountered evidence of alien life, until now. The crawler crested a ridge, and there it was, a sleek, silver vessel half buried in the ice. Its surface seemed to shift and ripple like liquid metal despite the freezing temperatures. My God, Maya whispered. First contact. Should we approach? Jenkins asked, his voice tight with tension. Maya hesitated only a moment. Yes. Slow and non-threatening. Remember first contact protocols. They approached cautiously, stopping 50 meters from the vessel. Maya stepped out onto the ice, raising her hands in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. That's when the surface of the alien craft began to move, forming an opening like a mouth. Light spilled out, blindingly bright against the dim Europan landscape. From within emerged 3 figures, tall and slender, with 4 arms each and skin that shimmered with the same liquid metal quality as their ship. We come in peace, Maya said, the words feeling simultaneously profound and cliché as they left her mouth. The aliens tilted their elongated heads, studying the humans with large, lidless eyes. Then one stepped forward and spoke, not with sound, but by projecting symbols directly into Maya's mind. We are Xylaxy. We observe your mining. This moon contains sacred material. Maya struggled to process both the telepathic communication and its ominous message. We didn't know, she replied. We're willing to discuss. The alien interrupted, advancing further. You corrupt sacred place. You must cease. We need time to understand your concerns, Maya said, trying to remain diplomatic. Let us return to our base and contact Earth for proper negotiations. The alien's skin rippled with what Maya sensed was agitation. No time. You stop now. It raised one of its 4 arms, revealing a device that pulsed with energy. Jenkins reacted instinctively, raising his weapon. Stand down. Maya shouted, but it was too late. The security officer fired a warning shot into the ice. The Xylaxy responded immediately, the device in its hand unleashing a wave of energy that tore through Jenkins' suit and body, reducing him to atoms in an instant. Chaos erupted. The other officers opened fire as Maya screamed for them to stop. Energy beams crisscrossed the icy terrain. One of the Xylaxy fell, its body crumpling like foil. The aliens retaliated with devastating force, vaporizing another human. Retreat, Maya shouted, dragging the remaining officer backward. They scrambled into the crawler as energy blasts melted the ice around them. Maya slammed the vehicle into reverse, speeding away as the alien vessel began to glow with increasing intensity. Europa 7, this is Rodriguez, Maya shouted into her comm. We have hostile alien contact. Repeat, hostile alien contact. Prepare for immediate evacuation. By the time they reached the mining platform, The alien ship had risen from the ice and was hovering 3 kilometers away, pulsing with energy. Director Chen had already ordered emergency protocols. "The shuttle is ready," he said as Maya rushed in. "We have 20 minutes before all personnel are evacuated." "It might not be enough time," Maya said, stripping off her damaged EVA suit. "Those aliens, the Zalaxi, they have weapons beyond anything we've seen." They disintegrated Jenkins with a wave of their hand. Chen's face went pale. "What did they want?" "They said we're mining sacred material. They want us to stop immediately." "They can have this whole moon for all I care," Chen muttered. "Let's just get everyone out alive." The evacuation proceeded with desperate efficiency. As the last shuttle prepared to depart, Maya watched the alien vessel through the viewport. It had moved closer, now hovering directly above the platform. "All personnel accounted for," Araya announced. "Shuttle departure in 30 seconds." Maya felt a chill run down her spine as the alien ship began to glow brighter. "We need to leave now." The shuttle's engines roared to life, propelling them away from the platform just as a beam of intense energy shot from the alien vessel. Europa 7, the product of years of human ingenuity and billions in investment, vaporized in a blinding flash. The refugees watched in horror as their home of the past 3 years disappeared, leaving only a smoldering crater in Europa's ice. Maya felt numb as the shuttle set course for the jump gate that would take them back to Earth. "We need to send a warning," she told Chen. "If they consider Europa sacred, what about the other colonies? Mars, Titan, the asteroid belt operations." Chen nodded grimly. "I'll prepare the emergency transmission as soon as we're through the jump gate." Back on Earth, the news of first contact and first combat with an alien species sent shockwaves through human civilization. Emergency sessions of the United Earth Council convened to address the crisis. Admiral Helena Yamato stood before the assembled delegates, her weathered face grave. "The Zalaxi vessel has destroyed our Europa mining operation and has been spotted near our Ganymede research station. We've evacuated all outer solar system facilities as a precaution, but our intelligence suggests they're preparing for further action." "What are our defensive capabilities?" asked the delegate from the African Union. "Limited," Admiral Yamato admitted. "Our military vessels were designed for human conflicts, not alien technology that can vaporize matter instantly. If the Zalaxi launch a full-scale attack on Earth or Mars, our current weapons would be insufficient." Murmurs of fear spread through the chamber. "Has there been any communication since the Europa incident?" asked the European delegate. "One message," Yamato replied. "Received 12 hours ago. It simply stated, 'Cease all extraction of sacred elements or face extinction.'" "What elements do they consider sacred?" demanded the Chinese delegate. "We don't know specifically," said Dr. Elias Khoury, the Council's chief scientist. "But based on what we were mining on Europa, primarily rare earth elements and isotopes of hydrogen, we can make educated guesses. The problem is, these elements are crucial to our technological infrastructure." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. "There is one option we haven't discussed," said a voice from the back of the chamber. Dr. Sophia Patel stepped forward, her slender frame belying her importance as Earth's leading xenorchaeologist. "The Antikythera fragments," she continued. "The artifacts discovered on Mercury 30 years ago." Admiral Yamato frowned. "Those are just ancient alien relics. Museum pieces." "They're more than that," Dr. Patil insisted. "My team has been studying them for decades. We believe they're parts of a communication device, specifically a distress beacon. The technology is estimated to be over 50,000 years old, from a civilization that predates the Zalaxi." "You're suggesting we call for help?" the American delegate asked incredulously. "From whom?" "We don't know," Dr. Patil admitted. "But the fragments contain star charts pointing to systems far beyond our own. Someone built this technology and left it in our solar system. Maybe they're still out there." Desperate discussions continued for hours. Meanwhile, reports arrived that the Xylaxy vessel had destroyed the abandoned Ganymede station and was moving toward Mars. Finally, the Council voted. Earth would attempt diplomatic contact one more time while simultaneously preparing for war and activating Dr. Patel's ancient beacon. In the secure facility beneath the Olympus Mons colony on Mars, Maya Rodriguez watched as Dr. Patel assembled the Antikythera fragments. Each piece seemed to recognize its neighbors, edges melting together like mercury. "Are you sure this will work?" Maya asked. "No," Dr. Patel replied honestly. "But our simulations suggest the device is designed to broadcast a specific frequency across vast distances. Once activated, it should send a signal to the coordinates embedded in its memory. And if whoever receives it is hostile." Dr. Patel's hands paused over the final fragment. "Then humanity faces extinction either way." The last piece slid into place, and the assembled device began to hum with energy. Symbols similar to those the Xylaxy had projected into Maya's mind scrolled across its surface, but these felt older, more primal. "It's working," Dr. Patel whispered as the device rose into the air, spinning faster and faster until it became a blur of light. A beam shot upward, passing through the ceiling and the Martian sky beyond, as if they weren't there. The signal raced outward at speeds that defied physics as humans understood it. On their screens, they watched as the Xylaxy ship approaching Mars suddenly changed course, accelerating away from the planet. "They detected the signal," Admiral Yamato said, "and it scared them." Maya felt a glimmer of hope for the first time since that fateful encounter on Europa. "Now we wait," she said, watching the ancient beacon continue its silent call into the depths of space, "and prepare." Little did they know that multiple forces were already responding to humanity's desperate plea, setting in motion events that would change the fate of Earth forever. Humanity's response. 3 months after the activation of the Antikythera beacon, Earth had transformed. The unified threat of the Xylaxy had accomplished what centuries of diplomacy could not. A truly united human civilization focused on a single goal: survival. Maya Rodriguez stood in the observation deck of the newly constructed orbital defense platform Aegis 1, watching as construction drones swarmed around the massive weapons array. Below, Earth's blue surface seemed peaceful, but everyone knew it was merely the calm before an inevitable storm. "Impressive, isn't it?" Admiral Yamato joined her at the viewport. 3 months ago, this technology would have been considered theoretical at best. "It's what happens when you give humanity's brightest minds unlimited resources and a deadline," Maya replied. "Has there been any word from the Xylaxy?" "They've established a perimeter at the edge of the solar system. Multiple ships now. At least 7, based on our long-range sensors. They seem to be waiting for something. Or someone," Maya said quietly. "The same someone we called." Dr. Patel's team had continued studying the Antikythera beacon, which remained active, broadcasting its silent message into the cosmos. Their research suggested it was sending more than just a distress call. It was sharing information about humanity, Earth, and the nature of the threat they faced. "Director Chen wants to see us in Lab 5, Yamato said. "They've made a breakthrough with the quantum lance." The quantum lance represented humanity's greatest hope, a weapon reverse-engineered from fragments of Xylaxy technology, recovered from Europa and principles derived from the ancient beacon. In theory, it could disrupt the molecular cohesion of the liquid metal alloy that comprised Xylaxy ships. In the laboratory, Chen stood beside a pulsing cylinder of energy suspended between superconducting rings. "We've stabilized the quantum field," he explained as Maya and Yamato approached. "In simulations, it can penetrate Xylaxy shielding and destabilize their molecular structure." "How many can we build before they attack?" Yamato asked. "Maybe a dozen," Chen replied. "But each one requires enormous power, more than a small city uses in a month. And we don't know if they'll actually work against the real thing." Maya studied the glowing weapon. "It's still not enough, is it? Not against 7 of their ships." Before anyone could respond, Alarms began blaring throughout the station. "Unknown vessels detected," announced the AI. "Massive energy signatures approaching from the Kuiper Belt." The command center erupted into controlled chaos as officers rushed to battle stations. On the main display, a fleet of enormous ships appeared, dwarfing even the Xylaxi vessels. "Are they responding to the beacon?" Chen asked, his voice tight. "Must be," Maya replied, watching as the newcomers approached the Xylaxi perimeter. "The question is, are they friends or just different enemies?" The answer came moments later as the Xylaxi ships broke formation, firing energy weapons at the approaching fleet. The new vessels absorbed the attacks without visible damage, then responded with precision strikes that crippled two Xylaxi ships immediately. "They're fighting each other," Yamato breathed. "But why?" A new alert sounded. "Incoming transmission," the AI announced. "Unknown origin, directed to Earth leadership." On screen appeared a being unlike either human or Xylaxi. Humanoid but clearly alien, with silvery skin that seemed to contain galaxies within its depths. When it spoke, its voice resonated with harmonic overtones that seemed to bypass the ears and speak directly to the mind. "People of Earth," it said, "we are the Valkyrians. We receive your activation of the ancient beacon. The Xylaxi have violated the Compact of Worlds by attacking an emerging species. We have come to ensure balance." Admiral Yamato stepped forward. "We appreciate your intervention, but we need to understand your intentions toward Earth." The Valkyrian's expression remained impassive. "The beacon you activated was placed in your system by our ancestors 50,000 years ago, when they seeded your world with the potential for intelligent life. You are, in a sense, our distant children. We will not allow the Xylaxi to exterminate you over resources they consider sacred but have no legitimate claim to." Maya felt dizzy at the implications. Human evolution, guided by these beings. However, the Valkyrian continued, "We cannot fight your battle for you. The Compact allows us to intervene only to the extent of creating equilibrium. We have neutralized the Xylaxi advantage. Now you must prove your worthiness to join the galactic community by defending your own existence." The transmission ended, leaving the humans in stunned silence. "They're giving us a chance," Yamato finally said, "but not a guarantee." "The remaining Xylaxi ships are regrouping," reported a tactical officer. 5 vessels still operational, changing formation. Yamato's expression hardened. "Then we meet them with everything we have. Launch all carriers. Deploy the quantum lances." Earth's defense fleet moved into position, a motley armada of hastily armed civilian ships, experimental military vessels, and orbital platforms equipped with the newly developed weapons. Behind them, the massive Valkyrian ships maintained their distance, observing but not intervening further. The Xylaxi attacked without warning, their ships moving with fluid grace through space. Energy beams lashed out, cutting through several human vessels before their crews could react. "Quantum lances, fire when ready," Yamato ordered. The experimental weapons activated, sending pulses of energy toward the Xylaxi ships. The first shots missed as the alien vessels twisted impossibly through space, but the third lance struck true, hitting a Xylaxi cruiser amidships. The effect was immediate. The liquid metal hull began to crystallize and fracture, the ship breaking apart from within. "It works," Chen exclaimed. The remaining lances found their targets, disabling 2 more Xylaxi ships. But the alien vessels adapted quickly, their hulls shifting to absorb or deflect the quantum energy. "They're learning," Maya realized. "The weapon won't work for long." On the command deck of Earth's flagship, Maya watched as the battle turned against them. 3 quantum lances remained, but the Xylaxi had adapted their defenses. Human casualties mounted with each passing minute. Then Maya remembered something from her first encounter with the Xylaxi, how they had communicated telepathically, projecting symbols directly into her mind. "The Antikythera beacon," she said suddenly. "It's not just a communication device. It's a template." She rushed to the communications array, pushing aside the officer stationed there. Her fingers flew over the controls as she accessed the beacon's signal pattern. "What are you doing?" Chen demanded. "The Xylaxi communicate through projected thought patterns," Maya explained. "If I can reverse engineer the beacon's signal and broadcast it on the frequency their ships use for communication." Understanding dawned on Chen's face. "You could overload their neural network." "Exactly. Like a telepathic virus." With Chen's help, Maya reconfigured the ship's communications array to mimic the ancient beacon's signal, but amplified and modified to target Xylaxi neural patterns. As the last quantum lance failed, and the Xylaxi closed in for the kill, Maya activated her improvised weapon. The effect was instantaneous. The Xylaxi ships faltered, their fluid movements becoming erratic. The largest vessel began to spin, its surface rippling chaotically. "Their neural network is collapsing," Maya said, watching the sensor readings. "They can't coordinate their ships." Yamato seized the opportunity. "All vessels, conventional weapons, fire at will." Earth's remaining ships unleashed everything they had: nuclear missiles, railguns, particle beams. Against the disoriented Xylaxi, the attacks found their marks. One by one, the alien vessels were disabled or destroyed. The final Xylaxi ship, its hull breached in multiple places, drifted powerless. From it came a transmission, not the telepathic symbols of before, but actual words, halting and mechanical. "We underestimated humans," came the Xylaxi commander's voice. "The sacred elements, necessary for our reproduction. Without them, we face extinction." Maya exchanged glances with Chen and Yamato. Here was the truth at last. The Xylaxi hadn't attacked out of malice but desperation. "There may be alternatives," Maya replied. "Ways to synthesize what you need without mining our worlds. If you agree to peace, we can work together to find a solution." There was a long pause before the Xylaxi responded. "Acceptable. The Valkyrians will enforce terms." As if on cue, the massive Valkyrian vessels moved forward, positioning themselves between the human fleet and the crippled Xylaxi ship. "The Compact of Worlds has been honored," announced the Valkyrian leader. "Humanity has proven its right to exist through both strength and wisdom. The Xylaxi have accepted the necessity of cooperation. We will oversee the peace." In the months that followed, humanity entered a new era. Under the watchful eyes of the Valkyrians, humans and Xylaxi established diplomatic relations. Earth scientists worked with Xylaxi biologists to develop synthetic alternatives to the sacred elements needed for their reproduction. The Antikythera beacon, its purpose fulfilled, was deactivated and studied for the vast knowledge it contained about the galaxy and its many inhabitants. Humanity learned they were far from alone. The galaxy teemed with life, civilizations rising and falling over billions of years, all connected by ancient compacts and relationships. 1 year after the battle, Maya stood before the United Earth Council, now expanded to include representatives from Mars and the recovering Europa colonies. "The Valkyrians have invited us to send an ambassador to the Galactic Conclave," she announced. "They believe we're ready to take our place among the starfaring civilizations. And who better to represent humanity," said Admiral Yamato, "than the woman who saved us all?" Maya looked out at the assembled leaders of humanity, feeling the weight of responsibility. Beyond Earth lay a vast, complex community of species, some friendly, some hostile, all with their own agendas and histories. "We almost went extinct because of a misunderstanding," she reminded them. "We survived because we combined our strength with wisdom. As we move into this larger community, we must remember that lesson." The council stood as one, applauding their new ambassador to the stars. Maya thought back to that fateful day on Europa's ice, when she'd first encountered the Xylaxi. So much had changed since then. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged stronger, wiser, and with a new understanding of their place in the universe. The stars no longer represented just opportunity or resources. They were home to neighbors, partners, and occasionally, threats. But Maya knew that whatever challenges awaited humanity among those distant suns, they would face them united. And somewhere out there, the ancient beings who had placed the Antikythera beacon watched with interest as their distant children took their first steps into the galactic community.